I don't know if you're going to lose your nose, but they do have a smart nose thing now and an app that goes along with your smart nose.
So you
it's
can
really amazing.
Smell through the app or something?
No, it's a smart. Well, actually, let me say it right. It's a smart snout. Smart snout.
I don't.
App.
Do I have a snout? Oh, now I'm a little self-conscious. Is this a snout? Do
well,
we have snouts?
According to the app, it's a smart snout because when it comes to the nose, you have unique, just like a fingerprint, you have a unique nose print.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that way, if your dog gets lost, you'll be able to use the smart snout because of their unique. Oh, I'm sorry, this is for the dog.
Okay,
It's
that
for the
took a
dog.
left turn. I'm like,
no
what?
wonder
Okay.
why you were thinking about your own nose.
I know. Well, I was getting ready to try to take my snout print over here. I didn't know what was.
Why did you use a piece of paper? Now you got snot all over it. So anyway, there's a smart
Really?
snout, not snot, but smart snout. The app's free, which is good, but it's like
yeah.
$6 a year to use the service. So if your dog gets lost, then you can use the snout.
If
What you
somebody
do is you
finds
take a
it.
picture of the snout,
Oh,
and then it
okay.
identifies it just like facial recognition. It's snout recognition. Pretty
Smell
cool.
recognition.
It is.
$6 a year?
I think I said
Oh
that.
my god,
Yeah, it's annual, so $6 a year.
that's fantastic. Like that's one of the most cost-effective apps I've ever heard of.
Yeah, but they got to get the word out about it because who's going to know? Hey, there's a lost dog. Let me take a picture of its nose.
Well, if you're listening to his radio, you know.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I love this organization, New Moms, because in Chicago, they've partnered up with a local college, and they're helping new moms get their college education.
Yeah, they're putting them through a 3-year program, and when they come out of it, they're going to have a degree so that they can better support their children, hopefully, and their families, which is super cool. They say that it's aimed, at getting not only the family structure together, but also really supporting education in the family so that the children then see mom has gone to school and it'll make them want to go as well.
Oh, and she's working hard, and they help with childcare,
Yeah.
which I love that, and they help getting the 3-year, 4-year degree, whatever it is,
Yeah.
to go through that. So it's wonderful that they're doing something like this for these new moms.
Right. And like you say, they have the child care, but they also give them a stipend because when you're taking care of a family and you're trying to go to school and you're trying to do your homework and make dinner and everything else, sometimes you can't work as many hours. And so
$500 a month.
Yeah.
So it helps a little.
It really does. Well, I mean, it's a car payment or part of a mortgage or whatever, but also providing that daycare is going to save on some money as well.
Isn't that just tremendous? So if it starts to work well there, because this is kind of a testing thing, you could see this go around the country and even in this area to help out new moms.
Yeah, and so far they've been able to help 400 new moms.
Good
that are
night.
in
I
the
had no
program.
idea.
400.
That's a lot of moms. Way to go.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So Nike is celebrating 50 years of an annual picnic inside their organization.
Exactly.
They do a big family picnic, so they decided, hey, let's make a shoe out of it. So they made an Air Max shoe, and it literally looks like a picnic basket and a blanket.
It does. Like your typical picnic, with the red and white checkered tablecloth or, the blanket that you would lay out
Yeah.
to have your little picnic. That's what most of the shoe looks like. But then part of it is the wicker from the basket, and it's $150. $150. No.
That's about an average price for
It is, but I wouldn't be caught dead in those.
you would not? What's wrong with the shoe? It looks like a picnic.
It looks like I have 2 picnic baskets, and I have a large foot.
No, you do not.
No, I wear a size 10. As short as I am, I wear a size 10. So it would literally look like I had picnic baskets on my feet walking towards you. You'd be like, ah!
Liz,
No,
come
seriously.
on.
I'm not dissing myself. I'm saying I can't imagine putting these on my feet.
I can't. I
can't.
I'd run on them.
Would you
If
really?
they were a running shoe, I'd run on them.
Would you really?
Yeah, I'd feel like a picnic. I look like a picnic.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Lived my whole life, never knew there was a difference in butter. If you go to the West Coast, it's going to look a little different. Here's how we found out. There was a tweet from a company that sells a Smarter butter dish. And in the tweet, it says it can hold the West Coast and the East Coast butter. Well, everybody that was on Twitter at the time that, this stuck out to were like, what now? Wait, what? So on the East Coast, where we are, it's going to be a long, narrow stick of butter. You go to the West Coast, it's kind of fatter and shorter.
Is it the same type of butter?
It's the same butter.
So butter is butter no matter where you are. Because mine comes in a tub.
Oh, you use tub like Country Crock or something like that?
No, Brummel's and, whatever it is.
Oh, fancy butter.
Well, no, it's yogurt.
Oh, it is yogurt?
Yeah, it's made out of
that.
it's made out of yogurt. Yeah, so it helps me want to live a healthy lifestyle.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Well, yeah, the tub I think is possibly the same on the East and the West Coast, but why in the world do they? I mean, that's got to be different machinery to crank out West Coast butter or East Coast butter. Seems like an expense that's unnecessary.
Same color,
Same color,
same taste.
same taste.
That just comes out different.
Yeah. Why? Please tell me. Does anyone know why?
I have no idea.
There's going to be a difference in why they would spend all this money to make it different. But anyway, this butter dish that Ninja went online and ordered one of
Yeah,
these.
but that's because she's getting married and has bridal showers and all that stuff.
I know, but are you having East Coast or West Coast butter?
East Coast.
Okay.
Gotta represent.
See?
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the difference. But it's fun.
Okay, so there's a butter dish. It holds two types of butter. There you go.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Corey's just playing hockey with his friend. I mean, it's winter, and where they live, the lake is frozen. So they're playing hockey, but while they're playing hockey, Corey and his friend hear some screams off into the distance. They're like, what's that all about? And it sounds like kids. So they went up the river a little bit, and there are some kids that were stuck. I mean, they fell through the ice.
Yeah.
Completely through the ice. And then Corey gets the brilliant idea of using his hockey stick to help those kids.
Yeah, he could have run off to find, call 911 to find somebody to help. But instead, he's like, okay, I've got a tool that I can use. And so he took that hockey stick. And of course, he had to be very careful getting closer to them on the ice and use that hockey stick. They grabbed the end of it and pulled them back up out of the ice.
Save those kids' lives. I mean, these are just smaller kids. I think they're in just middle school, but oh my. And Corey was smart about it. He wasn't like going to run out on the ice and save the day.
Right.
He's like, if I do that, I'm going to, go right in myself. So he went as close as he could to the shoreline to get that hockey stick out to those kids to bring them in. I mean, that was just brilliant.
My favorite part is that Corey did not come back from all of this beating his chest, fist bumping or anything like that. He didn't run home to mom and say, guess what? I saved some. He kind of said, hey, something happened on the ice. He was very humble, very nonchalant about it. Later, his mom's on Facebook and saw the story about her own son saving these kids' lives. And she's
Great.
like, wait a minute, what?
That was you, Corey? That was you? Because Corey's 16. Yeah. He's just a high school student.
Yeah. And so she was able, proud mama moment. Oh, absolutely.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Super Bowl, you already know it's coming up this weekend. If you happen to be the person that's drugged to the party and you're trying to figure out what am I going to do, they just brought me here. I don't want to be here, although I like the people that are here and the food is pretty good. What do you do to pass the time?
I know.
I knew she was going to go there.
I will not watch 1 second, probably, of the football game itself. I'm just not interested. I'm not that person. I will be watching.
But this is the Super Bowl.
Oh, I get it. Doesn't mean football is any more interesting to me. I'm so sorry.
I'm like that with baseball in the World Series.
And I am all in on the World Series. All in. Football, whatever. I will be watching Puppy Bowl. Oh, it is the cutest thing. I ran across it years ago. Every year. It's absolutely
How do you have your
tradition.
Puppy Bowl room set up?
Oh, it's my bedroom. Because everybody else, really, everybody else.
What about your friends?
So we will generally have family over and one of my son's girlfriends will be there or whatever. They can come in. I have a little couch in there. They can hang out.
Really?
Yeah, they can
Oh,
hang out.
fancy.
Right there. And my son, one of my other sons, likes to watch the Puppy Bowl. He's not really he likes baseball too. So, yeah, we'll watch Puppy Bowl. There is a halftime show, and it's kittens. I mean, how can you walk away from, right?
Always?
I think they started it a couple of years ago because cat lovers were probably like, hello, what's up with us? But you cheer for your team, and the dogs in Puppy Bowl are from all over the country and shelters. They're adoptable. It's just the cutest thing
So they
ever.
go into the story of these puppies?
They do. Like
Okay.
if you go online, you can see where they're from.
Oh, you have to go online.
To see where they're from. But sometimes I think they'll have they have announcers as well that will call the game. It's awesome.
Wow.
Because they're like, Ruff
So-
just intercepted so-and-so on the other team.
So that's how Liz passes the time
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl. Goes into another room and watches the Puppy Bowl.
And the kitten halftime show.
What's the thing that happens where you are?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
What do you do? Super Bowl's coming up. You're not too much into it. You got to pass the time somehow.
Yeah, I watch the Puppy Bowl. I mean, I will stay out, for some of it and fix the food and make sure everybody's okay. But I'm in there watching the puppies and the
She
kittens.
disappears into her bedroom.
Yes, I do.
And watches the Puppy Bowl. And then there's like a lot of people just laying on her bed watching the Puppy Bowl.
I will have a kid or two in there and somebody on the couch, so sure.
Nancy's here at 800-447-7234. What about you, Nancy?
Oh my gosh, I absolutely go and try and find the dog.
How did this start?
People expect me to be with the dogs. They know I'm going to search them out. They know I'm going to love them. But I remember going to a Super Bowl game one time, and I didn't care for the teams. I'm not big into NFL. I just got really bored and just started looking for the dog and just started playing with the dog.
You're at somebody else's house and you're searching their dog out. How does that even
Yes.
go over?
They're just glad somebody's paying attention to it so it's not begging for food.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So I have between 8 and 10 people to get a little something for Valentine's Day for, so I can see where I might hit this mark. Evidently, people are spending $208 on Valentine's gifts. Valentine's gifts. Like, I don't get that. If you're doing for one person, unless you're going to a really swanky restaurant, and I say this because my husband Joey and I don't really do a lot for Valentine's Day. We got a lot going on in February, and so we don't. But yeah, I've got an awful lot of people to buy for. So I can see $208. It's actually more than it has been in the last couple of years, and it makes sense. 2020, you weren't really getting out as much. 2021, not as much. So
How many people did you say you're buying
I'm
for?
going to say it's between 5, 6, 7 immediate family. There's an extended family member I'll get a little something for. And actually, it's going to be more than that.
Well, I'm trying to count here. So there's Joey, your husband.
Yeah.
And then she has Taylor, who's her daughter. And then
Luke and
her
Hayden.
husband. And then your granddaughter.
Uh-huh.
And then Luke and Hayden, your two sons.
Uh-huh.
I would imagine your mom.
I didn't even count my mama.
You're welcome. And then you have a sister and nephews.
I do.
And then
Yeah.
you've got to go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5, 6, 7. There's 7 right there.
There's more than 7 there on
Well-
that list because 5 in my immediate family. Then and I hate to say that, but 3 children, a husband. Okay, so that's 4, right?
So
Then you add Augie and Jesse.
I'm sorry, you're doing a whole lot more than $208.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I don't know if you know anybody like this, but you know how some people will take things like pretty literal? It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. So I know this one person. This is going to sound wild. You know the movie Cool Runnings?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know the movie Cool Runnings, it was, I think it was like 30 years ago.
I think so.
That
like
movie
80s or
came out.
90s, yeah.
And it's about a Jamaican bobsled team. First one ever. And so this one individual, Liz knows this person too. They're like, isn't that so neat this year in the Olympics that there's a Jamaican bobsled team? They must have gotten inspired by the Cool Runnings movie.
And when this person said this, I was like, what now? Because the movie is based on the first team from Jamaica that was ever in the bobsledding event. No way, this person said. And I'm like, Yeah.
over 30 some odd years ago,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that was
Now-
what the movie was.
Granted, the movie took a lot of liberties.
Oh, sure.
And it's a
comedy
funny
and-
movie. It's a
right.
comedy, and so there's a lot of liberties. I mean, there's a lot of things that didn't happen
that happened in the
that
movie.
happen both in real and in fake.
Yeah.
And I call the movie fake. It's based on a true story.
Exactly.
Almost every true story that you see that it's based on, remember, it's based. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of liberties taken
Yeah,
to.
they take creative rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, pump it up.
So anyway, but
I
there
just
you
thought
go.
that was funny.
it was so innocent.
It really was, because it would kind of stopped us in our tracks. Like, wait, you don't know that story about the Jamaican bobsled team and how they wanted to be in the Olympics and knew there was no other team that had ever come from Jamaica, and so that's why they decided to do bobsled.
Well, the sprinter was disqualified.
Yes.
And he wanted to go to the Olympics, so he went to
Exactly.
the winter in the bobsled instead.
So no, this is not the first year that there is a Jamaican bobsled team.
Yeah. I don't know if you know anybody like that, or maybe you found yourself not knowing. Oh, really? I'm not talking about the Jamaican bobsled
No,
team, but
anything.
anything. You know what we're saying.
Would you call that naive? Because I think naive is based in innocence, and I like
Or
naivete.
ignorant. I'm ignorant about a lot of things. I don't know it until somebody tells me.
Ignorance is a strong word. I like innocent.
Well, ignorance is not. It seems like it's a negative word.
Right.
For me, I'm ignorant in a lot of things. I'm just an ignorant person in a lot of things, naive in a lot of things, but.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that take things so literally or just
True.
have never heard the story.
True that.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So we're thinking about those things that you take literally, but yet it's not meant to be literal. You know, it's called one thing. You go, oh, wait a minute, it doesn't do this. 800-447-7234. Here's Linda.
She was newly married and learning how to cook. I told her to try spaghetti squash. So I told her what it looks like, and she brought a spaghetti squash home, and she cut it open, and she called me up. She goes, Mom, there's no spaghetti in this vegetable. She thought noodles were in the squash.
That's
I
great.
said, she said, well, that's like false advertising.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.